All right, we just going with it? We running?
Going with it, running live.
There you go. Remember, try not to hit the table as
Yes.
much. We've learned that lesson.
Late Night Chatter, episode
13, I think.
Yeah, episode 13. But Late Night Chatter part 2.
Yeah.
First one was back at your place.
Many
moons ago.
Yeah, well, oh my God, how long ago was that?
Are you looking at right now?
No, I'm about to make the tweet.
While you're doing the podcast, I see how
I like to keep the Twitter.
multitasking.
I like to keep the Twitter up to date.
Yeah, ask him that during the week. Got you. Late Night Chatter episode 2. I think the last time we did it was before Europe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, definitely before Europe. Because we did the 3 before Europe, before leaving.
Yes, which was September, I believe, because we left in October, unless this one was probably a couple weeks out from it, so maybe beginning of October. And we did not have a lot of subscribers or following as much compared to what we have now. We were probably almost 100 more subscribers since then. Lots more view time, lots more guests and networking.
This is our first time doing a podcast with just you and me since we've started having guests come on.
That is very true. No, Bigfoot. Well, technically Luke.
Bigfoot was a guest because we had Tristan.
No, in and out. But he was on the set.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Wait, what now? What do you mean? Because Bigfoot was just you and me, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Luke was like in the background. Our tech guy. Or James.
Yeah, but okay. So this isn't our okay, I gotcha. This is our first one, just you and me for a while though.
Yes. Which is a big step because it's weird just to be the two of us. We've had so many different guests and friends on, and it's been a phenomenal time. Looking to have many, many more of you guys on. We're getting some of you all scheduled here soon, and looking for even more in the future. So if you're interested or love the podcast or just want to check it out and see what it's about, that did not mean to rhyme. This is
episode 13, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty crazy, right?
It's insane. We're knocking these things out pretty quickly.
13. Like, I remember we were like episode 4, and now we're on 13. I mean, it's not a lot compared to the greats out there that have been podcasting for a decade, but we're making it. We're going.
What as I finish this tweet, what do you think you've learned here in the first 13 or 12 podcasts so far? Skills that are required to do this, technical things. What kind of things have you learned that you think you wouldn't expect to have needed or known beforehand? Which is kind of a loaded question, so.
All right. Well, with podcasting, I mean, as you know, it can be very time consuming, especially for myself as I edit it, but it takes a lot less time to edit compared to YouTube videos. So I guess I didn't realize that going into it. I did, but I didn't, which is super helpful and less stressful, especially with our busy schedules. So that is at least a pro, but a con, it has been an issue scheduling times where your schedule, my schedule, and our guests can all align, but I do know as a pro and maybe just shedding light on that bummer that it can be is it means more when we get those guys or girls on and it is an absolute banger of an episode. I always am just like smiling ear to ear when we're done, and just it puts this drive in me to continue to pump out more and more content. Podcasting is really easy. I mean, really anyone can do it. You just have to have some decent mics and some gist of having some software that does well with sound mixing, and you just throw it up on the social media that you want to use. Now, unfortunately, iTunes and Spotify is taking forever to approve ours. I don't know why, but I guess I understand because they don't want to just let Joe Schmo and Billy Bob throw up some random podcasts. So. But hopefully they'll be up real soon, other than just YouTube. But even YouTube's just been a lot of fun to grow and network, and just like today, even though they'll see it next week.
Mm-hmm.
They will next Sunday.
The car show. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
We
That
can
was
talk
awesome.
about that. A little sneak peek.
Because we honestly didn't get that much audio at the podcast of us explaining what it was or anything like that. So we can talk about it now, which would actually be really awesome.
Very true. So a little, I guess, sneak peek for next week's video. We will not be having a podcast next week, not to worry, because we have a video coming live from a car show that was here halfway between Fredericksburg and Richmond and Doswell at the State Fairgrounds. For those of you guys outside of Richmond, that tweet looks good to me.
All right.
And it was a phenomenal time.
If you are currently listening to this, comment. No, never mind. I don't know.
Do.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to say. No, that's cool. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm sending the tweet right now.
What about your freaking tweet, dude? So, the car show was a blast. It was super cool, and honestly, what I would argue the most diverse crowd of any sort of like show or expo you could go to.
That was a really cool thing about the car show is that it's there's not one specific type of person that goes to a car show. It's a very, very diverse crowd because cars kind of affect everybody's life. Like
at some point, whether you really think about it or not, like you have to get to work, you have to get to school, you have to go to the grocery store, you have to support your family through a vehicle. It's not like, unless you're a Amish family in like PA or Maryland, I mean,
even them, man, they got their wagons. They probably take pride in their wagons.
There wasn't a wagon at the car show.
there was.
No, dude.
Not a horse-drawn wagon, but they had that one wagon that had you know, the one that we saw, the little teal one.
You mean the one with the joystick?
Yeah.
It still operated.
It was technically titled as a wagon.
Whatever. But anyways, I mean, we really depend on our vehicles, let alone our collections and fancy classic cars, whether they're imports or muscles and from America. I mean, it's kind of, if you sit back and think, I mean, cars and vehicles have progressed very, very rapidly, especially in the last couple of decades. Like, look from where we came from, the cars that we saw today, that, you know, I mean, they only had like 2 doors, and you know, they were some of them are like really frail. See now, and now we have electric cars that can go 2-point-some miles or 0 to 60.
Check that fact guy,
which we don't have here.
R.I.P. Luke. Womp.
But overall, it was an awesome show. Car shows are a must, honestly, even if you're not the biggest fan, because you meet some of the coolest people. There's some of the most diverse crowds out there where, in the end of the day, when you walk in that car show, no one gives a crap about your political or religious or social standpoint. You're there just to have fun, make friends, and admire.
And everyone there is so friendly. Like, they're all just so down to talk about their cars and stuff like that.
Food truck food. I mean, we didn't try it all just smell good at least, and I know it reminds me of other like shows that we've gone to.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good little taste into the car world as we prepare for Hyperfest, which I forgot May.
Yes.
Okay, I fully plan on doing that, man.
Yes,
I'm super excited for that. We talked about that with Diego and Fabio back in episode 7.
Oh, look at you!
I didn't know. I just said that after you said it.
Come on now.
That was quick though, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Muscles, Cars, and Muscle Cars, episode 7, featuring Diego and Fabio Villa. Check it out. Shameless plug. I don't care.
We talked about Hyperfest and that, which is a huge car show. What would you call it? Because it's not a car show where you're just showing cars.
It's like the biggest in the East Coast, but like shark competition, shark.
There's a name for it.
Car show, car expo, whatever you
want
to call it.
Car expo, maybe. But it's a huge, massive one from what we saw. We saw the trailer for it.
They had like freaking drone footage and like this 4K like smoke shots and like
it looks really cool.
So another great place that, you know.
And I want to do the whole camping thing too.
Yes.
I want to camp out for it.
Camping's fun, especially when you got a bunch of buddies away from work, and
we're gonna have to invest in some tents. You want to split? Want to split on a CD Logic tent? Yeah, we can split on a CD Logic tent. Let's go find out how much like a good sized tent is.
Might as well get like a 6 or 8 person.
Let's get a tent like labeled. Let's get a tent, not labeled. Let's get a tent and brand it.
Oh my gosh, a great big like CD Logic banner.
Yeah, big CD Logic on the side.
On a banner, so.
We can invite people from the thing into our tent to do
do a podcast. Perfect podcast live in the track, burning rubber and smelling diesel fuel and gasoline.
That was something at the car show today that we went to. Like the second you walked through the doors, immediately Like, it was so strong. It was like the second you walk through, you got a huge whiff of just rubber. It felt like burnt rubber.
Yes.
Which doesn't make any sense because
cool.
none of the cars are moving in there.
And every time I smelt it, kept me from what was going on constantly, which was Hobo Joe, whatever his name was, that was putting on this great big extravagant car show, but I don't know who gave him the
guy with the
microphone
mic.
Oh gosh,
you couldn't understand him at all.
Bless his little heart, but my gosh, Hillbilly Joe was just having a heyday on that thing.
You understood like one word in each sentence.
Oh, so bad. But anyways, back to the car show.
Yeah, that was
Great time. If you haven't gone to one in your nearby town, wherever you're from, you must check it out. Because you can, like I said, learn so much, meet some really cool people, make connections, and it's just a fun place to be around with such a lot of positive energy. But what was really cool...
So, okay, why were we there, though?
I was about to say that. So,
perfect.
My grandfather, my mother's dad, is a big, big car guy.
He's not Caruth. What's his last name?
Bushy.
Bushy? Mr. Bushy.
Very, very English, yes. Bill Bushy. Well, he has a really, really awesome car collection, including a very, very old Ford Model A, which is in pristine condition with only like 20,000 miles on it. And you do the math by how old it is. Excuse me. I mean, it is a...
I'm sure it's not recording.
It is a phenomenal piece of art. And with that being said, he has a couple other additions, which maybe we can show another video, and because he wants us to come up and check out his 50s room he has in his attic of his garage and show all that off. I mean, I've been up there, but DJ hasn't taken the trip up there.
Awesome.
So, anyways, this week he brought his 1957 Ford panel van, which is just shiny red. I mean, couldn't have been any more polished.
Yeah, if you really want to see it, stay tuned.
For next week's video, you're going to see it. You're going to actually hear some story, some stories and thought behind
on each side. On each side of the panel, Ford. What was it called? I was going to say panel A, but that's not it.
Yeah, so it's a Ford panel van.
Panel van.
Like a delivery van.
Yeah, on either side, there's two airbrushed,
airbrush handcrafted paint
like
jobs.
Murals on either side of it that depict two different towns, like Route 66 style towns, where everything in the two paintings has some kind of a meaning to Mr. Mr. Bushy. I was trying to be formal. And it's really cool. He kind of talked about, like, you know, each car means something to him. Each car was a friend of his or his at some point or whatever it is. Every shop is named after somebody that he knew or is known. It's really cool to hear him talk about how everything in that mural meant something to him. And
especially, like, you know, I've heard that story several times and, you know, grown up for years seeing it and riding in it and so on and so forth, but to see him tell it with such emotion every time, and the fact that this man that he paid to do it, like, had no idea who any of these people were, but knew how much it meant to my grandfather, and he essentially just did an amazing job, and just what a piece of art that he created for my grandfather on this truck that reminds him so much of, essentially brought him to where he's at now with his extensive car knowledge and career owning a mechanic body shop. And it's such an awesome piece of work that after all these years has, you know, been restored and painted and the memorial added to it. It's so fun just to see him.
Mural's cool because it's not something that you usually see on a car. You know, a mural is not really something that you would associate with a car or something that people do with a car, like a very detailed mural. But it looks really cool in person. It works really well with the type of car it is, the paint job. It comes across really, really nicely. And then when we were there, we met a 13-year-old drag racer.
Drag racing YouTuber,
drag racing.
Yes.
Yeah, drag racing YouTuber.
Cohen. Shout out to Cohen.
Cohen
and Cars.
Who I did not hear how many subscribers he has, but he's way outnumbering us.
He's at least like triple ours.
Yeah.
He's 13 years old and only has been doing YouTube.
So we'll shout out you if you shout out us.
Cohen, I know you're going to be watching this at some point, and if you don't, well, shame on you. But you will definitely meet Cohen next week. And we'll tag his stuff in the video in the description.
He was really cool. He was really cool to talk to.
He was a down-to-earth little 13-year-old kid that had, you know, full of such good energy. And he even drops a little message at the end, which DJ, I don't know if you could hear, because of how
it was all about going after whatever you like, whatever your dreams are.
Exactly.
And like he's a 13-year-old. Like we were talking about this at the car show, I believe, that like I know with like YouTube growing as much as it is, and everybody wants to be YouTube famous, everybody wants to start up YouTube, which is fantastic because it's such a great platform to spur creativity,
share your ideas.
Yeah,
network,
it's
so on and
amazing.
so forth.
But like I know I heard, I can't remember where I heard it, but someone said that with the growing, with the generation coming up and everybody wanting to be YouTube stars and everybody putting eggs into that basket, that people aren't coming out with like genuine skills. Like, you're not learning skills trying to become YouTube famous and whatever it is. But then when we're talking to this 13-year-old, Cohen, and he's talking with such, like, eloquence. Like...
elegance.
Yeah, that wasn't right, however I said it.
At 11 p.m. it's hard to...
That's ironic. He's talking, like, very clearly. He... like we were interviewing him, but we know he has he's made a little bit of a career out of interviewing other people while he's going around drag racing and whatnot. And he had such a great skill at communicating that that's a pure skill that he's developed through YouTube.
Which I thought was very phenomenal because I can't get over that he was 13.
Yeah.
And, yes.
I know for a fact when I was 13 I could not have on the spot had that conversation
exactly
clearly, with especially ending it with a motivational tagline, just
exactly.
go
I
out
did not
and
expect that.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was gonna be like, and what
you guys shook hands, and I was expecting it to be done, and then he was like, "Oh, guys, go out and achieve what you want to do. I'm 13 and I'm doing this."
Exactly, and I mean, I'm honestly, it made my heart happy, and to bounce off even that. Later,
you'll hear an interview. You'll hear an interview with him in our video next week.
Next week, look out
as
for,
we keep plugging our
video
video.
With Conan Carr's YouTube channel. Great kid. You'll see it next week. But to bounce off of that, though, his little friend that we saw them interacting later, which made me even more happier.
There's another youngster who's
who's 12, 13, 14 years old, who was also a drag racer, but seemed to be more local from judging by his little advertisement sheets that we saw. But he was just so passionate about hey man, I heard him talking.
We didn't talk to him specifically, but we heard him talking with other people, and how quick he was to answer people's questions about his dad's car. And this is again a 10, 11, 12-year-old. He's quickly jumping in, telling people about his dad's car and the details of it. And again, that's not through YouTube maybe for him, but that's skills that are very cool to see younger people having. Because it's a skill that's very few have, is being able to talk with people so openly and quickly.
So easily. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I used to just answer the home phone, which didn't have call
terrifying.
ID or anything. It was terrifying, but every time I did it, I got more comfortable. I was like, hello. I was like, hey, it's your Aunt Connie, or hey, it's, Mr. So-and-so up the street. Every time I got more confident, until the point where I'd be like, hey, this is so-and-so from this business trying to sell you this product. I'm like, no, sir, sorry. My mom doesn't, I had it with full confidence. It was never, awkward or, quickly hanging up the phone. And sadly, you don't really see that as often where, younger kids these two little 13-year-old kids with such authority in their voice and passion in essentially their little careers and hobbies that they have at such a young age is bright for the future, and I love to see it. And I feel like it's lacking in a way, but it shows that there's still some awesome dreamers out there.
Yeah,
and I know that definitely from the last 6 years now that we've been friends, we've definitely been dreamers, and I think it's what makes us unique. Because at the end of the day, even with this podcast, I mean, we only have 139 subscribers, but we've...
Who's counting, though? Really?
The fact that... come on now. We were someone earlier, so you gotta be realistic. Come on. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to dream. It gives you something to look forward to, despite working busy jobs, and it's just an absolute blast to be able to see kids, 13 years old, where I once was in their shoes many moons ago, as it seems like. It's awesome to see. So,
and we learned some things from him about YouTube. He was telling us all about like mics and all that we can hook up and stuff like that. It was really nice. It was.
Oh yeah, the mobile ones, like on the go. I was like, okay, I'm about to invest in that. So it was in the day just another networking experience that we didn't see coming from a smaller scale car show from Doswell, Virginia. So, well, this turned into a car show.
Yeah, right. All right,
advertisement.
Let's flip it up a little bit. So we were going to do a podcast about. Like we were going to try to do our first Q&A, which we're
going to hold off.
We're wanting to do that, but we might have asked for questions too late.
Way too late.
And we only got 2. Thank you to those 2. We have
DJ's girlfriend. I'll shout this one out. We have DJ's girlfriend, Brianna.
Yes,
Brianna.
Brianna.
We know her.
She prefers Brianna.
She did. You are so gonna be in the doghouse when you get back. No, Bree, shout out to you. We will definitely be doing some sort of cooking segment one of these days. Maybe Epic Mealtime but you can still be involved 100%.
She can run it.
Well, I mean, honestly, if she doesn't, it'll be a mess. So we should totally do some Epic Mealtime funny stuff, getting 3 more people incorporated. Maybe people don't even know.
Would people be interested in a cooking show? I'm trying to think. Some kind of a cooking show / bachelor mix-up.
Are you just trying to...
I'm trying to combine things.
You're trying to combine things for Breach for a special episode. I told you, dude. We're gonna get on here and we're gonna get her to do something that she really wants to do, because that's what we're all about anyway. It's networking, shouting people out, giving other people a little start of their dreams, and just learn from people. So yes, we'll do a cooking segment with you, Bree. And somehow we'll get on here just to roast people on The Bachelor, even though neither of us watch that show.
And me and Cody have no plans on getting married, which was the other question. So, we appreciate the question, but we like to keep our personal lives personal.
Shout out to my bestie in Cali, Catherine. No, we're not getting married. I already told you the reasoning why. So he's taken to the lovely Bree. So not Brianna. Don't call that again, DJ. I'll just slap you. Make fun of my sister-in-law. Wait a minute.
Not yet.
One day. 12 years from now?
Yeah, that's the plan. On course.
Okay.
But yeah. But we are planning on doing a Q&A in the future. It's something that we want to do. We after talking with the Schweitzers, that's correct.
Schweitzers. You said Schweitzers.
I believe I'm saying it correctly.
Schweitzers. You said Schweitzers.
Yeah.
There's no C-H in there. It's S-W.
I don't believe I said a C-H.
Chris is just going to kill us regardless. Because
Schweitzers, no swiping. Okay.
There you go.
They talked.
If you haven't watched episode 11, go watch it now.
You know all the episodes.
Dude, I edit, run, do all this stuff.
That's true. After talking with them, they talked to us about how they did a Q&A, and they found that to be very popular. People liked it a lot. They liked kind of getting to know people a little bit more. Their audience liked getting to know them a little bit more on a personal level. And it was something that me and Cody were like, that's a fantastic idea. I
think it's another way to essentially get other people's perspective on things, even just the weirdest questions. We want to answer any questions relating to podcasting, and YouTubing,
travels,
stories, anything you want to know. End of the day, that's also why we'll love to do the Q&A, but we want to have everyone on here, no matter who you are, know you or not.
We don't really know the best way of going about getting a QA started. We don't know the best format, I guess, to get questions and all that. If you have any suggestions, hit us up.
If you want to be literally,
if you have any questions, hit us up.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
End of the day, that'd be kind of cool. Now that I think about it, I didn't really think about that. So
what do you mean?
It's just someone random, and have them on, and of course, we do learn about them and their endeavors and hobbies and stuff.
Well, that's just our podcast in general. It's having random people on.
After all, exploration of unique hobbies, collections, passions, and careers in today's culture.
# traveling techers.
Yes, sir. That's the mission statement. I don't know I think we put it on here at least once, maybe.
I don't think so. Not on the podcast. Maybe we've said it in passing.
Yeah, that's true. But overall, that's the whole agenda and goal of this podcast and YouTube channel is just, I mean, we got some big things coming up. Got the Arnold Classic coming up in May.
Yeah, coming up
in a month.
Coming up are things that we want to accomplish. We want to go to the Arnold. We want to make a whole video of our adventures to Arnold. We really want to have a good group of our friends coming with us. Get an Airbnb, go hang out for the weekend, go hit up the Arnold, go visit a bunch of the booths of the guys that, we've looked up to for a while, and just have a good time.
Make some new friends, try some new eats, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a blast.
Lift some things, put some things up, put some things down, the usual.
So.
The usual stuff. We want to do that. When's that?
That is the weekend of, I believe, like the 6th through 9th or 6th through 8th.
Of March.
That's
coming up soon.
A month from today, roughly. So, if anyone out there is interested in going, let us know. But
would you be interested in doing like a St. Patty's Day video? Like we hang out all day and we just make a video out of it?
But that's like the next weekend, right? Shamrock the Block.
Yeah.
It'd be like the next Saturday, probably.
Yeah. Like, we do a whole video about Shamrock the Block. Like, we go all out. Like, I know I go all out, but you don't go all out. You go all out.
I would be more than willing to do that just to go around and interview people. Because I told you, I've been to Shamrock the Block like 4 times, but it's never fun to me. And also, we set the bar too high
it's St. Patty's Day, so it is a fun day.
But
you're not doing it the right way.
I worked like 3 out of 4 of those days, and then last year you guys had like other plans, and then I think I had something as well. So it was just like,
well, last year we went together.
Yeah, but we were only there for like an hour and a half.
That wasn't because of you though. That was because of me and Bree.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we had to go early.
Yeah, so I think like this year, if you guys want to, we should definitely go, and we can go around asking people something pertaining to Shamrock the Block specifically. And I mean, I know we've talked about like we want to do videos like enrichment and stuff like that.
That'd be fun.
We live and work, and I think we've had a lot of fun because, I mean, as yourself, I mean, we're both Scots-Irish, but you're clearly more.
I'm Irish.
Yes, I mean, you are the reason behind. Not really.
The reason behind what, Cody?
St. Patrick's Day, DJ.
St. Patty's Day.
You leprechauns.
It's my favorite day of the year.
That's what you dress up as every year, so. Gotta go out again. We'll see. Maybe we can do something. Something leprechaun based, but.
We'll have fun. It'll be okay. That's an idea. We've also got a AJR concert that we want to go to soon. Will we make a video about that? Dude, we can make a video about the adventure of it, but I don't know how much we could record like during the concert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like even just like a 15-second worth of us going like crazy to one song and like sweating afterwards would be hilarious. But prior to, we should,
because it might be fun just to do
Kreischer, where we just go interview people in the crowd. Because like when you think about it, AJR is such a unique group to where like you just randomly showed it to me in the car, I was sold.
We
sold
their songs are so good
for Emery.
Their songs are
we showed the guys and they enjoyed it. I've showed it to my brothers. Like I've showed it to some people at work. They love it, and it's so unique to the point where even my youngest brother Dylan heard right before like a commercial break on like an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
They heard an AJR burn the house down, and it was like on Fox, like the 4:30 like primetime Sunday game or whatever, if you will, like the game of the week. And I'm like, the fact that you heard an AJR song, it made me so happy, and that he knew it before I did. Like he heard it before I did. So,
how big do you think AJR is?
They only have like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I mean, I don't like basing everything on YouTube, but
YouTube musicians do have a significantly large number of followings usually.
They do.
Like they usually dominate the YouTube like subscription counter.
They do. And I mean, to be quite honest with them, and this isn't to put them down, but the area, the amphitheater that they're performing at in Charlottesville that we're looking at going, it isn't John Paul Jones Arena, which is, UVA's, which that's where a lot of the big artists go, like Ariana Grande and Maroon 5. They're going to like some smaller one in downtown Charlottesville. But in the day, I think it still is a decent size that they'll probably sell out. I think that's even cooler though, because it shows like how much the tight-knit community is and how dedicated they are.
Like they're definitely not one of the mainstream groups right now.
No, like you're not going to see them on the top 100 charts. But I feel like they could be there one day because they're so unique. It's just 3 brothers doing their thing, making beats and just having so much fun. And we should, like we said, we're definitely doing a podcast here soon with my brother. Excuse me,
We're going to do a podcast where me, Cody, and Shane, Cody's brother, are going to pick our favorite AJR song, which will be difficult to do. this should put the fact that we love AJR that much into kind of like a view that we're gonna pick a song, each one of us pick our favorite song, and we're going to not necessarily debate, but have a conversation about why our favorite song is the way it is. Because like AJR songs, if you're not familiar, in my opinion, I think they have so much meaning behind every single song, like more meaning than most songs do.
Whether it means something to us or them, you can see the true emotion behind it. And some of them are very...
And some of them really hit home hard. Like, they really connect.
Do. Because at the end of the day, you can see the chemistry between the brothers and the heart and soul behind them making these songs. And then, let alone, some of them like even bring out memories from your childhood. Like, Don't Throw Out My Legos. Like, it's such a random song that some people probably judge it by looking at the title. But if you actually listen to it, and I am willing to bet a large people out there like owned a Lego set at one point in time, or at least played with them as a small kid with cousins or whomever. Like, just that song makes you feel like a kid again, and we get so caught up in our adult lives to where we almost forget about our childhood. And if you just sit there and reminisce and like think back about all the positive memories and vibes from back in the day, it's so fun. But that's just one of many, many songs that they have that really hit home. So
it's really cool. So we have that. That'll be fun. The concert, also the podcast, both those will be cool. Hyperfest in May. Hyperfest in May.
Hopefully that's not the same weekend. That'll be upsetting.
Yeah, we want to. We want to go to California at some point this summer, if it works for like a weekend trip.
I'm definitely going.
Yeah,
I've kind of sold it on me. That's going to be my summer vacation. Because sneak peek, gonna do a video for sure, but I'm taking my mother to Alaska on Washington in May.
Aww.
I know. Gotta get back to
You gonna go see the whales?
Maybe seals too.
I'd be pretty jealous if you saw whales.
National Park. They have a big sea.
What part of Alaska? What part of Alaska are you going to?
Flying into Anchorage and then gonna rent a car. I've got a good buddy of mine from high school, Sean Moore, shout out, and he's working at a university up there. And we're gonna rent a car, go to Denali National Park, and stay in like a log cabin Airbnb for a couple days, and hopefully, fingers crossed, see some good bit of wildlife. That's my main thing.
If it's anything like Canada, good luck.
I know it's gonna be to the last day.
We just see anything in Canada to the last day.
Squirrels and elk, the last moments we're there, but. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we'll be there for the trip's like 10 days. We'll be like in Washington for half, Alaska in half. So that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's in May, and then family vacation to Disney World the very end last week of September. So I have a big gap in between with a lot of days I have to use up to take off. So I want to go to Cali. Got lots of friends out there. And I just, as you know me, I could go by myself and stay with some friends and just bounce between friends or in a car and do whatever.
I bet you feel cool being able to say that you have a lot of friends in Cali, don't you?
Dude, we both know that we both have a lot of friends all over, and it feels great every time.
Yeah,
like, we have friends.
It's nice. It's nice having connections.
Like if you sit here and make a list of all the places that we have connections.
Oh, you have a friend in Toronto.
Wink.
Jeff
and Trevor. Jeff and Trevor. We do. Sit here and think of all the places we have friends. Like true friends or connections we made that we hit it home with.
I mean,
multiple places.
90%
of
them, not 90%, but a lot of them are from our trip to Europe when we just met people and learned where they're from and all that kind of stuff.
That
was
true.
Awesome.
But we have friends in France and the Netherlands and Sweden and the UK and Scotland and California and Toronto and Banff National Park.
Bunch of states across the country.
Florida,
across the
Texas, Oklahoma City. I mean, all over. And it's so cool because
who do you know in Oklahoma City?
The people we interviewed for our movie.
Okay.
Plug, Land of the Free.
When's that coming out, mate?
August 31st this year.
Are you sure?
Fingers crossed. It's either that or a winter break. Waiting on my mates to get back so we can finish this.
Tell your mates to get this thing going, mate. I'm dying for it.
How do you think I feel?
The people want to see it.
The makers want to see it. How do you think I feel? Like
you have a trailer out, right? Is it still the sneak peek trailer? You're waiting.
It's a sneak peek trailer. And
you're waiting on releasing the actual trailer until it's closer.
Which we have, and it is very, very heart grabbing. I just can't wait for you guys to see this documentary feature film.
Thanks Kincaid for liking our Twitter page.
Okay, Kincaid, shout out, mate.
Kinky.
But yeah, dude, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this year. I mean, that's like 2.5 years since we filmed it, which is like a good average of what most films are.
for editing and whatnot.
So especially since I have a full-time job, Spencer's in like a different freaking country or city every other week.
Are you gonna have an IMDb page and everything like that once this comes out?
Yes, sir. You already know.
What? No way.
Yes, sir. Don't act like you already know.
Cody Carruth is gonna have an IMDb page.
Yes.
This guy's gonna be the real deal.
All right, relax. I'm too humble for all that. Relax.
Carruth Fit / IMDb movie star. Wow.
Fit stuff's gotta stop.
Wow.
I make one progression like fitness post, and you call me Carruth Fit. That's gotta stop.
I was calling you Carruth Fit way before that picture.
Touche, but still, it's gotta stop. It was funny in Europe, where like every other day was some sort of freaking joke just because I was missing the gym. But that's enough of that. So, needless to say, we got a lot of stuff planned for the rest of this year, especially coming up here soon, the next month, 2 or 3. So definitely looking forward to it. But the car show was a blast. Definitely check out next week's video. Shameless plug our own self multiple 1,000 times. Definitely be on the lookout for it. And seriously, we want to get more of you guys on the podcast and in our channel.
Also, testing, see if people actually comment or not. Instead of just saying comment and like below. Like I have an actual question. With our podcast, we've been doing like hour-long videos. This one's looking like it's going to be around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Does it make more sense? Because we know like the average watch time of our videos is like, obviously it's not going to be the whole thing because I don't watch hour-long videos usually myself. Does it make more sense, and would more people be willing to watch longer videos if we cut them in half to make it more accessible?
Like a part 1, part 2. So
yeah,
if we have an hour-long podcast with, our buddies like, Will and Edgar, Jeffy, Craig, all those guys. Like we have an hour-long video catching up with the guys and what we're going on in the jobs. Instead of
releasing as a full hour, we release it as a 30-minute video on Sunday and a 30-minute video on Wednesday. That way it's not an hour all
part
at once.
Part 1, part 2 split.
Is that coming across as cheap, as us like trying to get more videos, or like genuinely better, just easier to watch?
Because in the day, we go back and watch our own videos / listen, like to and from work or at the gym and, stuff like that. I mean, I do just to make sure everything sounded great.
Make sure I didn't say anything stupid.
Well, can't hold your money on that. No. But, I mean, it's good just to have feedback. Because like I said, we do this just as a hobby and pastime to look forward to, but we want to help grow and continue this for years to come. So we want to get all the kinks and bugs out now as much as we can. So let us know in the comments below what you think, if we should keep doing what we're doing, just stay true to what we're doing and having, or we should start splitting things up, test running, because we'll definitely do whatever you guys suggest. But seriously, back to what I'm saying, let us know what you want to see on the podcast and channel, or if you want to be in something. Whether we know you or not, we want to network with more and more and more people. That's what it's about. That's what we're about. And
if you feel like you got a story or you just want to talk about life, hit us up.
CD Logic. I mean, it's the logic.
If you want to try to spark your fashion industry career,
freaking tell us. Like if you're designing your own clothes, like we'll shout you out. We'll share you on the Instagram. That's what we want to do. We just start continuing this connection, chain that we have, and just setting people up and what have you. So, and
talking to people about a bunch of different stuff.
Yes. But in closing, DJ, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Had a great day. We don't have enough of these, but we're adults living an hour and a half away. But it's always good to chillax, meet new people, see old friends, and continue to get behind the mics and the podcast.
Absolutely, it's been fun.
It has been.
It's been a good day.
It has been. So be on the lookout for the next video next week for the car show.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, because the Twitter page will actually be doing stuff now. So follow us on Twitter.
Facebook as well. We don't
Facebook as well.
Much, but we're still trying to put stuff on there.
Follow us on Twitter. I don't know.
You said that, nerd.
No, like us both separately. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Ask us questions, whatever.
Anything you ever want to see, you can even just message.
I'm just trying to think of what other YouTube channels say. Okay.
Gonna sound cool. Gonna fit in, bro. Well, DJ, it's been a blast. Late night chatter episode 2. Signing off. See you next week.
Bye.
Hey, young viral.